Today I have an exciting topic that holds the key to unlocking your skin's natural beauty, and that is exfoliation. Exfoliation is a vital step in any skincare routine, as it helps to remove dead skin cells, unclog pores, and leave your complexion looking fresh and renewed. With so many exfoliation options available, it's essential to understand the different methods and professional options that are out there for your skin benefits. In this video, we're going to discuss the world of exfoliation, exploring the options you can try at home and the advanced techniques used by professionals. We'll take an in-depth look at physical exfoliations like scrubs and brushes, chemical exfoliations like using AHAs and BHAs, as well as mechanical tools such as Microdermabrasion and Dermal Plating. So here is where I'm going to uncover the secrets of exfoliation and learn how to achieve the radiant, glowing complexion. Get ready to say goodbye to dull, lackluster skin and hello to refreshed, revitalized complexion. So the first thing I'm gonna say right now is that skin exfoliation is the ultimate anti-aging step professionals use to restart your skin by reversing sun damage, acne scars, and aging. So what exactly is exfoliation? So exfoliation is the removal of dead skin cells on the top layer. The top of the skin cells are dead, dry, and ready to shed, but sometimes they need a little bit of help. And there are many ways to exfoliate the skin. Some exfoliations are more of a maintenance exfoliation, while others will generate new skin growth, stimulating collagen, elastin, and hydration, while also reducing uneven skin tone, unclog pores and congestion, and reduce the lines and wrinkles, while giving you skin healthy glow. So one thing I will mention is just do not over exfoliate. Overexfoliation is not healthy for the skin, and it will damage the acid mantle that protects your skin and can cause sensitivity issues, dehydrated skin, and other skin issues, including breaking out. Breaking out is a clear sign that you have overexfoliated. So let's dive into all the different kinds of exfoliation. So the first type of exfoliation I'm going to discuss here is what's called mechanical exfoliation. And that's an exfoliation that you actually use your hands or some other object to help exfoliate the skin. Many of these include sugar scrubs or pit scrubs, rounded professional beads, diamond scrubs, jojoba oil beads, rotary brushes, konjac sponge, peeling gels, peel masks, and gommage. So the most common exfoliations that most people usually use are sugar scrubs or pit scrubs, which are horrible for your skin because they nick, scratch, and tear your skin. These are not a good thing to use, and they won't really give much of your skin any kind of benefit. I think one of the reasons why companies tend to use these and sell them often is because they are extremely cheap to make, and they do have people who have never really exfoliated kind of feel an overall instant gratification of a smoother, softer skin after using it if they've never used anything else beforehand. But still, you should never ever be really using these. I have not touched any kind of a scrub for many years now because I know exactly what to do and how to take care of my skin, and I have a very good exfoliation for my skin. The other thing too is they're not going to help hydrate the skin, which other ones will help promote hydration too. Now, I do know that there are some professional brands that do make perfectly rounded beads, teeny tiny small perfectly rounded beads, in order to have more of a safer exfoliation while using it as a scrub. Now, those are a much better option. However, I don't think scrubs are really necessary. Similar to the sugar scrubs and pit scrubs, there's also diamond scrubs. I used to have one that had some micro beads, like crystals or diamonds in them, and I think the reason why sometimes companies might put that in as well is because it's kind of supposed to act like microdermabrasion, which I'll talk about here in just a moment. But I would not use that very well as a manual way of doing things because it's not really quite controlled like microdermabrasion is. Now, jojoba oil beads are usually okay to use because they are, again, they're not going to nick or scratch the skin. It is a type of oil, and jojoba oil that mimics closely to skin's natural oil. Those I could say could be used. But again, you're not going to get the benefits that I'll be talking about here with other exfoliations that you could be using at home. Now, with the rotary brushes, I know those have been a pretty big thing. They really used to push those quite a few years back. I don't know how many years, but they still sell them, of course. And estheticians do use rotary brushes. But again, we're using it like once a week on you, where sometimes people have been using those rotary brushes like every day or twice a day even. And just like I mentioned earlier, if you over exfoliate your skin, not only are you gonna just like tear it to pieces in a way by removing the acid mantle, and causing other skin issues, but you can also start breaking out. So if you're someone who maybe has oily skin who uses it because you feel like you have a better cleaning when you use those, if you start noticing that you're breaking out and then you start using other skin products in order to help stop that, it kind of starts creating this vicious cycle, because now you think you have acne because the pores are clogged, so you're going to use that even more. It can just become a huge mess with some of these rotary brushes. Most of those rotary brushes shouldn't probably be used more than like once a week or something, because they are naturally exfoliating. And then when people use things like sugar scrubs or pit scrubs, also with that, like, you are really doing a lot more damage than the brush itself. So these are not generally your best options when it comes to exfoliating at home. The konjac sponge is a small sponge made for the face that has been made from fibers from a well-known herb in Japan. These must be soaked in water before gliding across your face. The soft fibers will gently remove rough, dry skin that rests on the surface. I would say if you ever feel that you kind of need to actually feel like you're rubbing off your dead skin cells, that would probably be a better option, because it is a very soft sponge. And I've kind of used that. It's been a while since I've used it, but I have used it before, just kind of in between things, just as a nice kind of way to massage the skin a little bit, but then just to kind of give a little bit of just some skin cells that are probably just starting to poke up that are ready to just slough off naturally. Now, peeling gels also come from an Asian background and made their way here to the US. It's a gel that is a very unique application. The gel works with the skin's sebum, which is the skin's oil, and when massaged over the skin, you start to see like a peeling reaction to the skin. Little white clumps start to form, which look like the skin's top layer is being removed. These, I think, are pretty good to use. I haven't found any problem with these kinds of peel gels. I think they are effective and can do quite a good job at giving you an ultimate glow pretty much right away. They are very gentle and soft on the skin, and there's no scratching or scraping or nicking the skin at all. It just works really well with the sebum that helps loosen it quite quickly and just starts removing the dead skin cells that have been glued together, where the glue has now been dissolved or separated, so that the first top layer can actually be removed. Those I would actually recommend to use if you ever get your hands on the peeling gels. You can find them on Amazon. I have found one before. I have not tried it. Maybe what I'll do is actually make a video over reviewing one of them, just to kind of show you how it works. So I'll look to doing that maybe in the future sometime soon. Now there's the peeling masks, and these are extremely popular, especially when we saw the black charcoal peel masks. Those became very popular because they were just marketed so much on like Instagram, and I think even TikTok maybe at the time. And I think they've kind of lost a little bit of their popularity, just because everyone's tried it and not everyone has gotten the best results. I don't really like these. The only people I think that should ever really be using peel masks are basically people who have oily skin and that their skin is very congested. But if you do have a proper skincare regimen and you know how to balance out that oil and water ratio, your skin should not really be congested. You should be able to actually have pretty decently good clear skin for the most part without any congestion. And so I really kind of want to say these peeling masks are not the best, and yes, they will naturally exfoliate, as some of you have noticed. You basically got a wax on your skin. However, there are some that are very gentle, where it's kind of like a real gel, like a jelly substance, and you put it on similar to a mask. You wait till it dries, and then it's just really easy to peel off, similar to like if you put glue on your skin. Don't put glue on your skin. That was just to give you an idea of how it works, okay? You can get a chemical reaction from putting glue on your skin. But it's a real thin layer that kind of works like that while peeling it off, where it won't like pull off any little hairs that you didn't realize that were on your face, or take off hairs like your eyebrows or something. It just kind of helps to kind of naturally exfoliate the skin, but again, it's only going to exfoliate the skin by attaching itself to skin that is willing to move once something takes it off, similar to like putting tape on your skin and peeling that off. Those kinds, the real thin gel ones, are okay, I think, to use, but I think they kind of dry out the skin a little bit. At least that's how I feel about them, what I've noticed. So really, again, the only people I would say would probably ever really want to use that is someone with maybe oily skin, maybe. Other than that, I think it just kind of dries out the skin a bit. So I'm not really a big fan of peel masks. The next one is gommage, and that's actually a French word that means to erase. And what it is it is a mask that you put on, you let it dry a little bit. It usually might have like a jelly kind of substance or like a cream-like substance of some kind, but once it dries, it kind of sticks to the skin and you actually have to roll and rub off the mask itself. It's from France. It's originally made in France. They use this quite a bit. They feel like it's a very easy exfoliation. I'm not a big fan of it from at least what I've experienced and what I've even seen. You really have to kind of tug at the skin quite a bit. And I'm not really a big fan of constantly tugging at your skin so much because that can cause, you know, some loosening of the skin and everything. And really, I just don't like it. So I'm kind of surprised someone like France would actually use this kind of mask to help exfoliate. It can be a gentle way of exfoliating, but when you come down to the tugging of the skin, I'm just not a big fan of it. Plus, you just have to make sure it's all like rubbed off anyway. So I just sometimes find it to be more cumbersome than something that can just be easily applied to the skin and take off the skin cells easily. Our next exfoliations are enzymes. And enzymes are usually taken from plants and placed on the skin like a mask, which help dissolve your skin cells, known as the keratin cells. It is effective in removing dead, old, tired skin cells and the first step to stimulate new cell growth. So the three most common and effective enzymes are usually pineapple, papaya, and pumpkin. Now, pineapple is pretty good for people with normal skin and combination skin type. Papaya, also known as papin, is good mainly for oily skin, but can use it, especially combination oily skin type, and also maybe normal skin type. Pumpkin is really good for people with dry skin type, but it's also good for combination skin type and normal skin type. Oily skin type could probably use it, but I think they do have better options, such as the papaya or the pineapple, for instance. Now, enzymes are what I like to usually promote a lot on my channel because they are something that's pretty easy to get, a good brand that has some pretty good enzymes, and that will work at home to help not only exfoliate the skin and brighten and lighten the skin, but like it said, it kind of is the first beginnings of how to use to start generating some skin cell growth, which is really good so that you can create collagen, elastin, and also bring up hydration. So like all the other ones that I mentioned earlier before we talked about the enzymes, none of those will stimulate hydration. None of them will give you an anti-aging effect. The best that they will do is just make your skin feel a little bit smoother at best. Enzymes are the first to start to do this and are a good step to start using on your skin if you've never used enzymes or anything else on your skin as far as exfoliating. So I always use this as a first step to use to kind of just build up your skin in order to get used to an exfoliation. Then there are chemical peels, and they're used to dissolve the sebum that keeps the skin cells together. These are known as AHAs and BHAs. These are usually used in esthetician office or practitioners' offices. The two main types of medium grade peels are chemical peels, which you will not actually peel, and then there's deep chemical peels. So while the enzymes dissolve the skin cells, the medium grade exfoliators will dissolve the sebum, which is the oil that keeps those skin cells together. So if you think about it, if you can find an enzyme mask, which I do promote one or two of them that do have not only enzymes, but also include medium grade peels, you can actually dissolve two at the same time, which will be a much easier and more gentle exfoliation and will just give your skin more of that easier, like softer, beautiful glow much faster than other ones that you can just simply buy that aren't too expensive. Medium grade peels are things like glycolic acid, which is great for all skin types, lactic acid, which is also great for all skin types, tartaric acid, citric acid, malic acid, and even salicylic acid. So just to let you know, what AHA means is alpha hydroxy acids, which were all those other acids that I mentioned. Now, the only one that's a BHA, which is beta hydroxy acid, is salicylic acid. And the reason this one's a really good exfoliator is because it actually dissolves oil. So it's great for people with oily skin type and combination oily skin type for sure. Now, for these medium grade peels, you might actually notice them in your cleansers, toners, masks, and some treatments. But they are at a much lower dose and are in the products as a maintenance in between exfoliations. So do not think that your cleanser is going to be your exfoliator. That is not really it, unless it is an exfoliating cleanser, which I do have one, and maybe what I'll do is I will do a review on that as well for you to know. But for the most part, most cleansers or toners are not going to be your exfoliating agents. Those are used for different things. They just add some of those medium grade peels just for that added benefit and to just keep that exfoliation going pretty well before you take on your next exfoliation treatment. Now in the office, meaning like an esthetician's office or like a skin practitioner's, they're much more at a higher dosage and more effective at getting the job done for best results. Now our deep exfoliations, which again you will see at a practitioner or an esthetician's office, will be TCA or a Gesner peel. Now these are the ones that you will actually see yourself peeling. The other ones will call themselves peels, but you will never actually peel. At worst, you'll get like maybe some flaking. But when it comes to TCA or Gesner, this is where you see the actual peeling effects. So you will need some downtime for these. Now TCA is great for people who are maybe more of a mature skin because it gives a more toning and tightening effect. So it's really good for more mature skin. With Gesner, that's more for younger people, and it's great for people who might have acne scars or like super oily skin that really might need to get rid of a lot of skin cells. So those are usually our highest kinds of exfoliation, but there is one more kind of exfoliation, and this must be done solely by a doctor. An esthetician cannot do this kind because this next one is extreme, and it is called a phenol peel. Phenol peels are extreme, and this takes an immense amount of downtime. And what it does is it really actually removes the entire epidermis of your skin. So you have your epidermis and then you have your dermis, which is way bigger. And what it does is it removes this very first top layer, which as an esthetician, we cannot go any farther than the epidermis. So when they have completely removed that, they have come down to the actual dermis. Now, this is actually a really great exfoliator. You actually have to be monitored with a heart monitor because it can cause something like heart palpitations. It does have some medical issues with that because it is extreme for the body. They might even have to kind of like put you out for the procedure because it is so intensive. And they will probably more than likely have to probably numb you a little. I'm not really sure the whole procedure. I don't know much about it, but it is something that I will be looking into, and actually one day I want to do it because it is great when your skin starts to recreate itself and make its layers again. I mean, pretty much all damage, sun damage, aging, wrinkling, lines and stuff is completely gone. So this is something that I would be wanting to look into, and if I ever do it, I will be definitely making a video over it because that is an exciting trip and I would like you to see the effects of it. But that's probably a long time from now, so that's just in the future. So our next exfoliation is going on into devices. Now there are a few devices. One of them is Microdermabrasion. You might have heard that. It's great. It does work. They are very popular. What it is it's using crystals, or the best ones are diamonds. It looks like a pen that they put onto the skin. And what it is it's an actual vacuum. And what it does is it shoots out onto the skin crystals or diamonds, quickly hits the skin with the diamonds or the crystals, and then it sucks it up into the vacuum, which also sucks up all the dead skin cells and everything that it has taken out. Now, this is very effective. A lot of people do have great results right after. Lines and wrinkles start to disappear, sun damage starts to disappear. Obviously, it's an anti-aging, just lifting a little bit, getting the skin more youthful looking. It doesn't hydrate the skin, but it does work very well in removing a lot of dead skin cells. Now, it's possible if you're someone who's a little too sensitive to use things like peels and acids, microdermabrasion might be something that you might want to look into because you're not having to use any kind of acids or anything. You're just using just something that will quickly pick up the skin cells quite quickly and remove them at a little bit of a deeper level, which is why it gets such great results. And it is great for just about any skin type, so long as you don't have like actual sagging and wrinkly skin. And most people don't really get like sagging and wrinkly skin till they're like, I don't know, like 70s or 80s or something. That's when people start to actually have like the actual sagging skin. So for the most part, most people will be able to do microdermabrasion. So the next exfoliation is dermaplating. Now, dermaplating, I believe, is two different kinds of ways of doing it. And one of the most popular way of dermaplating is it's like a device with a small blade attached to it. And it uses like microcurrents or some kind of vibrating thing. I don't know if you actually feel it. I've never done it myself, actually. I just kind of know about it. And they will use it against your skin to kind of help take off the skin cells. I think it is actually a really nice feeling for the skin when you do it. It's nothing abrasive or extreme. So this could be done for just about almost anybody. Our last one that we're going to discuss for today is laser. And I really don't know a lot about how laser works. I haven't really done the research on that yet, but I do know that laser can exfoliate the skin and even somewhat change the way your skin looks. Laser can be definitely a way of exfoliating. It can also get rid of like acne scars. It can also be definitely something great for anti-aging, sun damage, all those kinds of things. So I'll probably do another video on laser some other time, focusing more on how it works, its benefits, you know, its pros and cons to it. I do think you will have some downtime with it. I don't know how much downtime though, but that is just something to consider if you're ever wondering all the different kinds of exfoliation, and that might be something you might want to do. But it is done by some kind of practitioner or someone who has been trained to use a laser on the skin. Now, I do have a glowing skincare guide that I made for you, and if you want to go and download it, I will put a link down at the bottom for you to click on so that you can also use this guide to help start your glowing process. And it does talk about exfoliation, and so this is a video that you'll be a little bit more ahead on with the exfoliation process since you watch this video as you read that skincare guide. So definitely look into getting that glowing skincare guide, as I will have it down again in the description down below. And so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here at Contour Image, and just remember to stay beautiful for life.